Hello and welcome to Mastering Microsoft Power Query video series. This is video number 7 where we're going to talk about the transformation tools available for date and time values. So what actually we're going to cover in this video? If you have the date and time in a different columns, how do you put them together? If you have it in one column, how do you split them into different columns for performing the analysis as per your requirement? And how do you extract every component of a date like day, month, year, and quarter? You can also get into weekday wise, week of the year, week of the month. So there's so much inside the date transformation. Likewise, for the time as well, you can extract the hours, minutes, and seconds, and you can analyze by any way you want it. Last but not the least, you can do calculation between two different date and time, two different time. It's all possible. When you do that, you will be seeing something called duration, which is also one of the transformation option where you can convert these different values into any pattern however you want to see it. So I'm excited to explore these options. Without much ado, let's get into the Excel, let's connect to the data set, and let's check out the option in the Power Query editor for the date and time values. So for this exercise, I'm going to use one of the file which contains a lot of date and time. So let's go ahead and launch the Power Query editor. So I'm going to go to the data tab, get data, launch Power Query editor. So I'm in the Power Query editor right now. I want to connect to the sample data set which I have it in my sites. I go to the home tab. Then I go to the news source, and I'm going to say go to the file and choose Excel workbook. So the moment I choose Excel workbook, it's going to ask me where you want to connect it to. This is the file we're going to use for this video. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to say import. And as usual, it's going to ask me which sheet you want to connect it to. The file contains only one sheet, and this is the sheet I want to connect it to. I select that sheet and I click OK, and it's going to get the data in the Power Query. Like as usual, definitely the change type would have popped up. We don't want it as of now, so I'm going to cut that up, come back again. So here I'm going to split the columns because they are separated by comma, but be very cautious when you handle the date and time. So when you go to split column and by delimiter, we were expecting that it will pick up the comma because that's the most occurring character, but you could see that it, instead of picking the comma, it has picked up colon. So you need to be very cautious when you're handling the date and time column. So I'm going to say, hey, don't split by colon, split by comma, because that is what's splitting each of the column in my data set. And for each occurrence, there is no change in the rest of things. I'm going to click OK. All right, we got the data split it into columns. Again, as usual, I'm going to get rid of the change type because I don't want to do it right now. And the next thing I want to do is promote the first row to header using the generic transformation available in the home tab. So home tab, under the transform, I'm going to go for the choice use first row as header. So when I click, it gets converted. Now I'm trying to see whether it has done the change type. Obviously the change type is occurring right now, but that's not a problem for us right now. But anyway, I want to check each column, does it has any kind of issue. So this is perfectly fine, this is perfectly fine. So all I'm trying to find out is this green bar, is it completed, and does it has any kind of red indication somewhere. So I'm going to go keep traveling towards the right side. Everything seems to be okay. So until payment, so let's move forward further, and all these are, watch it. So until payment due date, everything was looking good, but in ship date, it did not convert it into a date. Why so? We need to check it out. So if I scroll down, there are certain values comes with the time, but most of the values are without the time. So I'm going to put this into a format where I want to retain the time also. So I'm going to change this to date and time, and it's going to ask me, would you like to replace the current step? Now I want to add this as a new step. So I'm going to do that. So this is perfectly fine now. Likewise, for event log date and time, I'm going to go ahead and change that to date and time. That is also taken. For support ticket open, I think that's the same problem what we had in the earlier one. So let's go ahead and click and change it to date and time. Everything is good. Same here, date and time. Warranty, that's perfectly fine. Let's check the rest of the columns. Okay, warranty seems to be good. Last maintenance seems to be good. Next calibration seems to be good. But next calibration, you can see that the green bar is not complete, but that means we have empty. That's not a problem. We can manage it. That's not an issue as of now. So now the data is perfectly placed in the right columns and they have the proper data types. Now it's a time to explore the transformation options available for the date and the time values. So let's first explore the options what we have for the date. So I'm going to go ahead and in order to do this, I'm going to go here and I'm going to do the first thing is I have the order date separately, order time separately. Can I put them together in one single column? So I'm trying to see, can we do that? So literally I'm trying to merge the columns. So I'm going to go ahead and check out in the transform tab, but I want to create this as let's say a new column. So instead of performing into the transform tab, I'm going to perform this action in the add column. So I'm going to go to the add column. I'm going to select the order date column and holding the control key and selecting the order time as well. And then this time these two are selected. Now I'm going to the add column tab. From date and time, I go to the drop down where we got the under the date where we have the option which says combine date and time. Well, that's what we want to do. So let's click and a new column should have got created at the end. So let's check whether we have that created. Yes, we do have it. You could see here they are merged. So I'm going to rename this to order date and time. So that means the first transformation what we did is if you have the date separately and time separately, you can put them together. Likewise, we'll do the vice versa. That is it possible to extract the date separately and the time separately when I have them together? So why don't we take this data and try to split them into individual? So I'm going to go here and add column. Having that column selected, I'm going to the add column and I'm going to the date and I want to say, why don't you extract only the date as a separate column from the selected column? So when I click OK, so what you can see here is from this order date and time, the date alone has been extracted and kept. Likewise, I'm going to select this column again. And again, I'm going to the add column. And this time I'm checking, do I have time only here? No, but this is something related to time. And if I go here under the drop down of time, here I have the option to do time only. So when I click here, then it extracts only the time separately out. So I've shown you both the ways. How do you put them together? How do you split them? The next thing I want to show you is when it comes to date, there's amazing options available for us to convert these dates into any format you wanted. Basically, what people does is when their analysis or when their reports require like a weekday reporting, quarterly reporting, year-on-year reportings, monthly reportings. So they generally create columns by writing formulas in Excel. But remember, Power Query is there to help us to reduce these kind of redundant works. So next time when I get a similar data set, I should not be sitting and doing these kind of extracting time and dates. It should happen automatically. Same way, if I have a date column, I should be able to split them into any frequency I wanted, and I want to get that in my report. So all I'm going to show you right now, how do you get this date? So for example, this is the order date extracted. Let's give this next. So let's say I want to create a report for Saturday and Sunday only, and I want to get that into my Excel. So as and whenever this new data set comes up, I should just put it in the location where I've connected the Power Query to. When I hit the refresh button, it should extract and give me the Saturday, Sunday data alone in two different sheets. So let's see how we can achieve this part right now. So first thing, I want to convert these dates into Monday, Tuesday, those kind of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. So this time I want to do the transformation, or I can do it as an add column itself. Add column. go to the date, and I'm going to the day, and I'm going to say there's an option called name of the day. So I'm going to click on it, and what it's going to do is it's going to create a column, another column for me based on this extracted dates, and it's given me the day name of these selected column. Now remember what I told you, I want Saturday and Sunday reports in two different sheets. So what I'm going to do is I go to the left side section where my query name is sheet 1. First I'm going to change this to let's say the master, and I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to duplicate it, and this I'm going to name it as Saturday, and I'm going to right click this and I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to name this as Sunday. All right, so let's come to Saturday query, and I'm going to come to the rightmost column. So let's come to the rightmost column here. I'm going to go here and click the drop down, and I'm going to filter out only for Saturday data. Click OK, and it contains only the Saturday data, and the rest of the column, if I want it, I can have it, or I can remove it if I don't want to have it. So let's say I would love to keep only certain columns. So I'm going to go to the Home tab. Under the Manage columns, I go to the Choose column so that I can choose whichever columns I want to see in my final report. Not everything. I just need the day name column, and I just need the order date, the delivery date, and the payment due date. So that's all I need. And once I have these 4 columns, these are the four columns I would require it. I click OK. And these are the 4 columns going to be returned to us: order date, delivery date, payment due date, and day name. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for the Sunday. Probably we can duplicate the Saturday after we chosen the column. So what I'm going to do is I can delete this because I don't want to go ahead and do this process of selecting the column one more time. Instead, I want to take that what we already did for Saturday. So I'm going to duplicate the Saturday right now, and I'm going to name this as Sunday. And here in the filter, I'm going to change this to, let's go to the steps, the last step. Here, do I have a gear icon? Yes. In the filtered rows step, I have the gear icon. I'm going to click on it, and where it shows me the filter. So here, I'm going to change this to Sunday and click OK. And next step is removing other columns. Everything is done, and the Sunday data is also ready. So we have done the transformation. We have used the transformation option for the date, and that too specifically towards the day. Yeah. So remember that it can get you the name of the day, start of the day, end of the day of the week, day of the year. Day is nothing but the day number of the date. So likewise for week. So let's see this result, how this is going to turn up. So I'm going to go ahead to the Home tab, close and load to, and I want this as a table, and I want this in a new worksheet. Let's click OK, and let's check it out what happens this time. So you can see that Sunday report is available in a separate sheet for me, which you can observe here, and we got the Sunday data, and Saturday report is available as a separate sheet, and the entire report is available as a master in one sheet. So all these happened from the steps what we did. I want to go back to the Power Query editor. So I come to the queries and connections, right click, edit. So I've shown you a quick example from the date and time transformation. You can also prepare reports for month wise. You can prepare for quarter wise. You can prepare for weekday wise. Anything which you want to generate the reports for, you can bring it up, and there's no need for writing formulas in Excel to get certain works done related to dates. Those options are available in the transformations for you. If you do not have that in the date and time transformations of the Power Query editor, then think about using the formulas in the Excel. Yeah, so that's one example, but let me also show you what are the other choices you got when we deal about the date and time. So let's say we have a column. Let's take this column, these 2 columns right now for the exercise: order date and the delivery date. Let's subtract these 2 dates. So I'm going to select the delivery date, hold the control key, select the order date, and I'm going to go to the add column date drop down and look at the choice which says subtract days. So when I click on it, we're going to create another column which gives you the number of days between them. And I could say number of days to deliver since order date. Yeah, so that's what we have found out right now. So you can subtract two dates, but the subtract days works out only when you got two date columns. But when you got two date and time, then it's a different story. For this exercise, I'm going to take two different columns which contains date and time, event log date time and support ticket close time. So if I want to subtract these two, so can I do it the same way like we did last time? Watch it. I click on this column and hold the control key and select this column. If I go to date, well, if I go to subtract days and look at the right side, it gives me only the date, but I want to see even the time factor. 2 days, how much minutes or hours, or let's say I want to see it in hours or minutes. How do I see that? Because it simply gives me only days. So I don't want to take this step. So instead of simply subtracting it like what we did right now, so what's the way we can handle such requirements when you want to subtract two columns which contains date and time, and you want to see the difference in terms of only hours or minutes or simply the days? Is there a possibility of changing those, the durations? What we got, the answer is yes. But for that, instead of using the date and time transformation, what you need to do is you need to create a custom column involving these two columns which you want to find the difference for. So watch it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to the add column and I'm going to say custom column, and it's going to bring up that pop-up and it's going to ask me what's the name you want to give for it. Let's say I'm going to say the hours taken. Okay, hours taken. And which are the two columns I want to find the difference for? I'm going to just look for the support ticket close minus, and I want to go for event log date time. Because the reason why I'm not picking up the open, because there is no time for most of the dates over there. So we are taking the column which has a date and time both. Yeah. So these two, we are just subtracting it. We're going to click OK, and the column which is going to be coming for us is hours taken. And if you see the last column, we got the day, the hour, the minute, and the second. Well, this is something I want to have it, because sometimes people would love to decide, hey, you give me all the factors involved in it. Let me decide how I want to see the end result. Okay. So what do I mean by that? So once you got this column, watch this. Under the add column, there is something called duration. Now, how do you want to see this column by? So let's say, for example, I want to see it by total hours. So watch it. It gives me in total hours actually. Suppose if I want to see it in total minutes, I can do it in total minutes. So let's say, what is this one then? Simply hours. So if I say hours, what is being extracted is only the hour component of the difference values is being extracted. But this gives me 29 hours. And what is this 0.41? 0.9. If you do not want this, you can round it up, round it down based on your requirement. But watch it. That's the role of this duration which we are looking at. So let's say I want to see it in terms of total minutes, and this is going to be total minutes. And if I want to see it by total days, I can even see it by total days. But remember, this duration option will be active, will be available for you only when you create a custom column where you're finding the difference between two date and time columns, so that you will get the option to play around with the choices what you have over there. All right, so what are the options we got only for the time? So in case if you want to do certain operations related to the time, what are the options we have? So let me go ahead and look for the column which has only the time, so I can show you that. Here we go. So let me zoom it so you can see it. Order time, we're going to select that, and I'm going to go to the add column, and let's click, and you can extract the hours, minute, and the second separately. Yeah, that's possible. If you have two times, you can actually find the difference between them. So I've shown you the choices what you have when it comes to date, when it comes to time, when it comes to the difference between them. So remember that when it comes to date, my friend, there is a lot of options to try and explore each of them. So I'm not getting into each details here because most of them are self-explanatory. It will be very boring if I go ahead and show you that. I want you to go ahead and explore it and check it out. We will be taking some real-time use cases to see how we're using these in the real-time examples or real-time requirements in the coming up videos. Now, one thing which I want to clarify here before we close this video, especially when it comes to the quarter, remember it treats Jan to December as a financial year. So the calendar year is seen as a financial year. So this quarter will not be applicable if you belong to a country where your financial year starts from January, it starts from a different month. Then you should not be using this quarter of the year or start of the quarter. Yeah, you should develop a custom column to generate those things and get it into your reports. All right. Fine then, I hope you got the idea what are the options available for date and time transformations. Let's catch up in another video, another interesting things about the Power Query Editor. Until then, take care of yourself. Signing off, Hariharan.